We have just used artificial intelligence to successfully read a 2,000-year-old volcano-buried library without opening a single book. In AD 79, Mount Vesuvius suddenly erupted and buried a Roman seaside villa under 60 feet of volcanic ash. That heavy layer of ash completely preserved the only intact private library surviving from the ancient world. For nearly 1,800 years, humanity had absolutely no idea this massive trove of knowledge was sitting right beneath the dirt. The initial eruption completely destroyed the villa, but the weight of that ash ensured the scrolls inside remained undisturbed for 2 millennia. An Italian farmworker stumbled onto the buried villa and its library in the 1750s, but the heat from the eruption had carbonized the scrolls. Instead of paper, they looked exactly like fragile lumps of charcoal. Over the next 2 centuries, academics tried aggressively to open them, using physical heavy weights, experimental gases and chemicals, and even outright pulverization. These brute force physical attempts almost entirely failed. In the process, priceless ancient philosophy was routinely reduced to useless dust and confetti. That was the cruel, tragic joke of Herculaneum. Our physical proximity to the books was the exact thing destroying their data. The solution was to stop touching them. Researchers decided to leave the fragile scrolls rolled shut and scan them instead. This required immense power. They took a scroll to a particle accelerator and hit it with X-rays, about 100 billion times more intense than a medical scanner. This diagram illustrates the ultimate data problem they faced. The ink is made of carbon, and it sits on top of carbonized papyrus. To a standard scan, the text is completely invisible. So researchers trained machine learning models to ignore color. Instead, the AI hunts for the microscopic physical texture that the dried ink leaves behind on the surface. Once the algorithm maps this texture, it virtually unrolls the 3-dimensional scan into a flat digital screen, allowing ghostly Greek letters to finally appear. AI succeeded here because it turned a failed chemistry problem into a solvable geometry problem. A tech investor accelerated the timeline by crowdsourcing the challenge, offering over $1.7 million in open prize money. This turned a rigid scientific process into a rapid relay race. Coders began sharing their open-source breakthroughs on the public Discord server. The grand prize-winning team was a 21-year-old SpaceX intern from Nebraska, an Egyptian graduate student in Berlin, and a Swiss robotics student. Opening the data to the public allowed this cross-disciplinary team to apply the technical insights that had eluded specialized scholars for centuries. The first recovered translations revealed the philosopher Epicurus musing on the daily pleasures of life, listing music, food, and the color purple. Then came the ultimate milestone. For the first time in history, the team read the title and author of a sealed scroll. It was the text On Vices by Philodemus. This moment officially broke a 2-millennial silence, opening a direct line to ancient history. And hundreds of these scrolls still sit completely rolled shut. Somewhere in that pile there may be completely lost plays, forgotten histories, and erased science. This chart shows our new reality. For 2,000 years, the barrier to this knowledge was fire. Today, the only barrier is computing power, and that compute becomes cheaper every single day. 2,000 years ago, a librarian shelved a scroll and a volcano filed it away. Our technology has finally reached the level required to open that archive.